guys hear the noise campaign? I did a video a little while ago, but I dropped my phone and the camera got turned off. Anyhow, I started with the remote door monitoring again uh, early on, and I was daydreaming, just thinking. And I was thinking that I want some money from the lottery, and they don't like it when I have those sort of dreams or I'm thinking like that. They will always send the police afterwards to engage in, threats, right? Or if you win money, the lottery, we'll arrest you, we'll do this, whatever. It's like, you know, what they're doing again because they are retaliating because I blew the whistle on their psychological program, the psychological operation, the illegal microchipping, right? And the use of religious fanatics within the religious institution, the churches, to engage in psychological operation. You just heard the police siren. And again, they've been waging war with it, particularly in the communities of color, and particularly the black community and amongst black men, into covert drugging, covert manipulation using psychological methods and tactics, and all sorts of using honey traps, all sorts of ways in which to, criminalize and incarcerate black men. Okay. And so, like I said, I blew the whistle on their whole entire operation. And so they're constantly retaliating, right? Using also the mother of my kids, particularly the mother of my two youngest, who they're constantly using to engage in palm fixation drill, trying to get me to become a servant to her, and let her do whatever she wants to do while I'm here at her house taking care of our kids and cleaning and all that stuff, right? Within the past, between yesterday and today, every time I look out, if I walk into the foyer where the door is and I stare at the door, they'll constantly use police sirens. So today, I went out, you guys said uploaded some videos, and they were constantly using the police sirens, again engaging in covert psychological harassment and manipulation. And again, every time like I told them, I said, you will never stop me from exposing what it is you're doing. I don't care whoever you want to get to make false accusations. You can go ahead and just do just that, because I'm gonna continue to expose you. All right. So we're talking about dark triads, embedded in law enforcement, embedded in security agencies, within government. As I said before, when you study the dark triad personality types, they always seek positions of power, right? And the reason why they seek positions of power is because, again, of their dark personality. They want to be able to commit whatever crimes against anyone or a group of people and get away with it. Like you always say, there's two rules for two different people, right? There's rules for, particularly if you're a black person, there's rules for black people, and there's rules for white people. Okay? As a black person, you can't get away with the stuff that white people get away with, even in the littlest things. All right? So we know that. Okay? And they were microwaving us here in the home. Whenever time I pass Pam's bedroom, and it's funny because she's always complaining about locking her door, right? Because she's like, oh, the AC's on, and I'm always hot, so you need to lock my door. So what she did earlier today, got into a little bit of argument with her because it was 9 o'clock and she wanted to wash my daughter's hair and then do her hair. And I said, no. I said, you are not doing it. I said, it's 9 o'clock. All right. Then she tells me, well, you could have done it. You was here all day. And I'm like, huh? Now, for a month, she did not wash my daughter's hair. I had asked her about a week and a half ago. I said, I will unplait her hair. She told me no. That's okay. So yesterday, I finally unplaited her hair because I say, she has school on Thursday. Okay. So today now she's like trying to blame me. I said, listen, you had the weekend. You was here over the weekend. Oh, it's it's her. I said, you're always blaming either her or me. I said, but you need to stop that. Take some accountability, okay? Take some accountability for your inaction. And I said to her, I said, you need to stop prioritizing your kids. You have not prioritizing our kids since, my oldest was around 7 or 8. He's 14 now. My daughter, every time I ask her, I said, listen, look under her bed to see if she make a mess. Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm like, why not? Just go look. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to see all that. Okay? And it's like, I keep telling her, I said, what you're doing is avoidance. You are basically avoiding your children. Okay? You're abandoning them. This is how you felt abandoned when you were younger. You're doing it to your kids. I said, yeah, you might be here physically, but you don't help them with their schoolwork. You don't make sure they go to bed on time. Saturday night, Friday, going to Saturday, her and the kids were up until minutes to 6 o'clock in the morning. And I said to her, that's ridiculous. No sort of accountability, no sort of, concern or care for our kids. So I have to stay here for how many days now? 2 days, all right, to make sure that the kids get to bed on time. And tonight, if I wasn't here, okay, it is going on 1 o'clock, actually after 12. She would have been up with our daughter doing her hair. What she does on a Sunday, the kids don't go to bed until 2 o'clock. And I keep telling her, I said, everyone has to wait on you, except for when you want to go out, when you have a date. You can do all the things that you refuse to do, like get up early, do all of this, make breakfast, all this stuff. But when you have a date, you make sure you get up early and you're out all day, and you leave the kids home by themselves. I said, you are not prioritizing your children. I said, what they're doing to you is psychologically manipulating you. Yeah, they may put you in a position, give you a nice salary, because they understand that how your mentality is, because they've helped create your personality. So they know you're highly materialistic, you're vain, you're manipulative, right? And so they will use that against you. And so I told her, I said, no, you're not doing all this here tonight. And she thought, well, she can go to school like that, I don't care. I said, you know what, just leave the moisturizer out. I'll get up in the morning, I'll moisturize her hair, and I'll put it in the bun, and that's it. Okay? She's like, well, she can't, I said, listen, you worry about the wrong damn things. I said, you should be worrying about getting them to school on time, helping them with their homework. That should be your priority, because she was also upset because my daughter didn't want to wear a uniform. I said to her, look, she'll be fine, okay? Tomorrow when she gets up, she'll be well rested. She's going to pay attention in class, as opposed to when I go pick her up, when I'm not here, and the teachers tell me she slept all day in class, because you came home and went straight to sleep. I keep telling you, take away the devices at night. Nope, you won't do it. So I was showing my son a video of a news report of these 5 teenagers. I believe it was 5, but I'm not sure. But they were teenage girls in Baltimore, 16-year-old, and their parents let them go hang out till after 2 in the morning. And I'm saying to myself, these are 16-year-old, and these parents, okay, this is what the white psychologists have done to black parents, is that they have manipulated them into letting their kids run them. This is why our community is so broken. We have and this little girl now, she lives with her mother and father. Okay? So where's the father authority in all of this? 16 years old. So they went to a party, they went to McDonald's, and her and one of her other friends was arguing about sweet and sour sauce, and her friend pulled out a knife and stabbed her, and she died. Okay, she died. Now, had her parents said, you're 16 years old, okay, you should be home by 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. Yes, the summertime, still 11 o'clock, 12 the latest. Not 1, not 2, not 2 o'clock at night. But that's how, and particularly when you have a household where you have the mother and the father, and again, and this is where you see these masculine women override the male authority. Okay? So their daughters grow up not respecting men because they see their father as weak. And the son grows up being a weak man. Alright, so, I had to talk to my son. I said, listen, you cannot get upset over something like that. Okay? You have to understand how to control your emotions. I said, you remember when they were bullying you online and what happened? This was during COVID, and I wasn't really here because their mother was acting a fool. And he called me one day and he was like, he broke his mind. I said, how you broke your mind? He's like, I punched it. I said, why you punch it? He said, because I was being bullied online and this and that. I said, but that's not what you do. You don't punch your monitor. Because now what? Now what? Now you have no monitor. Okay? So for a whole month he had no monitor. I had to give him one of my I actually took an old television and gave it to him to use as a monitor. I had to tell him, I said, it's just a game. Just a game. Alright? It's just a game. You can always get back into the game. I had to put it to him. I said, look, even if sometimes when they hack his accounts, it's like, look, when I was younger, we used to play video games. Okay, sometimes our cartridge would get corrupted, lose everything, but we always had the joy of replaying it to get back up to the level where we were. I said, you have to treat it like that. It's just a game. Don't get emotionally attached to those things. But these kids nowadays can't help it because they have no fathers within the home to tell them these things. And the mother are just totally oblivious to what's going on. Not understanding the psychological conditioning being done to kids online also. So when I told her he's not allowed to have a social media account, what did she do? Sign him up for a TikTok account. Alright? And she wanted to get him a cell phone early. I said no. I said, nope, he's not getting a cell phone. I was very adamant about that. So I ended up getting him a cell phone when he went into junior high school. Kids under the age of 10 should not have cell phones. And I've said this to parents on Facebook, and they look at me like, they respond like, I'm like, you don't know what you're doing to your children. But too many of us are highly ignorant to know any better. And when somebody tries to tell us better, we don't want to hear it. Even if it's for our own benefit. Even if it's for our own children's safety. Why? Because it's coming from a man that looked like me. If it was a white man now, they would believe it. I go to my daughter's school, I see kids in 1st and 2nd grade with cell phones. Alright? With cell phones. And these parents don't understand the immense harm that they're causing their children. I think right now it's one of those countries that they ban kids under a certain age from having cell phones. But in America, where corporate greed trumps everything, right? Corporate greed trumps everything. It trumps our safety, right? It trumps our lives. Like I said, there's research from the 1970s that shows you the negative effect of radio wave microwave frequency on the human biology, but also our psychology and neurology as well. Okay? So what was I saying? Oh, so as I was, my mind kind of jumped from here and there, particularly since the past couple of days. They've been very heavy on the remote no monitoring. So I was saying, like, walking to the hallway, and Pam has her bedroom open, and I'm just like, why is it open? She's always complaining about how hot she is, and and how she, after AC's on, and she's sometimes yelling at the kids, and she yell at me if I forget to close the door improperly. But the reason why she does is because I walked to come to the bathroom. Her bedroom is right there, door's open, and the minute she sees me, she starts doing this. And I'm just like, I'm like, okay, and like I said, they've created a highly dysfunctional bunch of people within communities where black people live, and within the minds of black people, and particularly our women. And I posted some news today, where you had over the past few years all these black women harming their kids, even deleting their kids, drowning their kids, all sort of stuff. Okay, why isn't these things being taken seriously? Right? I know why? Because it doesn't fit the narrative. The narrative is to always put negative images and news out there about black men. So this is why you see black women behaving the way they're behaving today. This is why a lot of them now feel that they can just off their kids and it's nothing. All right, because they have been coddled, they have been protected under white racism as a means to destroy them, to create a narcissistic mindset and personality, to destroy the relationship between them and us, their men and our women. And too many of us refuse to see what's going on. But this is why I do what I do. Like I said, this is one of my purposes, to expose all these things. And they try their hardest to try to silence me. But I'm gonna keep doing my videos, keep exposing them, because it needs to be done. Anyhow, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.